I touched polyester, rayon, silk, cotton, suede, leather. The eureka moment came. I ran to the material store. And I had to figure out, matter of fact, hey, come here for a second. Bring it right on. I had to figure out how can I, cut that off anything, how can I get a piece of material that will allow the platter to comfortably go clockwise while I went counterclockwise. Remember, Mom was a seamstress. This is where she comes into the mix. So, I'm walking down the aisles of the material store and I'm touching rayon, silk, polyester, cotton, suede, leather, felt. Why do I remember felt? And this is how I remember felt. In grade school, we were asked to do an assignment to cut out alphabet letters, and those who cut out the alphabet letters the best, you would get 5 stars. So I'll bring it home to Mom. I got 5 stars, the whole thing. And I would get chocolate chip cookies. But let me bring the two together. So, is it on yet? Is it on? Make sure it's hot. So, what I did was felt. But here's the problem with felt, guys and girls. It's limp. So that meant I would get forward motion resistance from the platter. Bring the scissors so we can make a hole here real quick. Help me out, it's all good. You guys still with me?
Yeah.
So, you got it? Okay. So, with the hands raised on this, the platter doesn't comfortably move in the forward motion. Somehow or another, I had to make this flimsy material less flimsy and somehow compress the hairs. And here's what I did. When Mom wasn't looking, Dad was no longer home, so I didn't have to look for 2 people, just one. And I went inside the cabinet, and I got Mom's spray starch. And here's what I did. The felt wasn't as flimsy anymore, but the hairs that was causing the forward motion resistance was no longer a problem. I used to call this a wafer. I called it a wafer, if you guys can remember. During Easter, when I was a little shorty, Mom would dress me up with a 3-piece suit on. We would go to church, and the pastor would be in the middle, and we'd walk down, and that little white thing we used to get and put it in our mouth, shit was a wafer. And that's what I called this. But the problem with this is it still was forward motion resistance. So Mom made me chocolate chip cookies when I did good in school. She used wax paper. My final problem was forward motion resistance. I took the wax paper, put it on the steel platter, took that rubber mat, threw it in the garbage, put this on top of that. No more resistance. Today they call it a slip mat. I called it a wafer. Turntables were also an issue with me as a shorty. I remember trying to find a turntable that had the right power to go in a forward motion. I tried Fisher-Price, Magnavox, Zenith, Early Pioneer. And I remember going up to coming home from school, getting off the bus, and there was this store called Vicmar Electronics. There was this battleship gray, ugly turntable in the window, and it had these things on it. I thought the turntable had the mumps. That's what I used to call it. So I remember I asked the salesman, is it possible, could you please take that turntable out the window so that I can study it? He looks at me, I look at him, he says, I'll be right back. He comes back with a linebacker, dude is dumb big. And they're both looking at me and they're saying, again, what is it you want to do, son? I said, I'm doing a study on turntables. And could you please just take the turntable out a little while, plug it in, because I want to check the torque, the forward movement of the platter. The linebacker went back again, came out with this skinny white guy, his name was Victor. And I says to Victor, I'm just trying to do a study with turntables. Could you please just take it out of the window for a little while? And I just want to just check the forward movement. He looked at me, he said, oh, take it out for him. So he put it on the counter, plugged it in, and I looked down at the label to see what model it was. And it was this unknown company called Techniques. The model was the SL23 belt drive. This elongated bed of music for the rapper to speak on was created by the SL23, which is the great grandfather of any of these turntables right here. So when I say to you, I don't use sonics, it's strictly math, man. Math. When you roll the way that you do, it's called head count. You're counting. You're counting in between the bars, Mel. That's what you're doing. You know, because if she's dancing and she gotta like do that and you miss the beat, just throw a drink in your face. Come on, brother. We're never allowing that. So I was supposed to say that before I say goodnight, but I just want to say, like, hip hop is about to be 50. I thank God that I make it there. And if anybody has any questions for me, please feel free to call.
Yeah, I got you. You got time for about 3 or 4 questions. All right. So 1, 2, 3.
You can just roll. Let's roll. It's okay.